What's up, y'all? It's your boy Isaiah the Character, and I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I've been back living with my mom for the past, wanna say, close to 3 weeks. 3 weeks I've been living with my mom. Now back on my older videos, if you saw, I had my own apartment. I've been living on my own for a whole year. I moved out August the 1st, 2021. Last year, 2021. It's 2022. I moved back in with my mom. 2022, August the 26th. Moved back in with my mom. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I moved back in with my mom. And you know why? Because my apartment sucked. Let me rephrase it. Did it suck? Nah. Was it awesome? No. See, this what all started, right? One day, first let me just say, the apartment complex I live was at Fountain Lane by Carriage Hill in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's kind of like a hoodish type apartment. You know, does have good scenery. They got they leave garbage on the ground. You know, it's not high price. My rent was like $622 a month. You know, people walk. You know how it is at the hoodish apartments. But let me tell you, you know, why I left. I'm tell you exactly why I left, and this is terrible. I hope nobody go through what I went through. Okay, it was on a Thursday around July the 28th. On a Thursday, I was doing some waiter orders. Now I did a waiter order. I came back home. Now you all know, when you got your own apartment, you come back from a long day of work. The first thing you want to do is chill, lay down, watch some TV, get on your phone, grab you something to eat. Not on this day. Not for me. Not for good old Isaiah the Character. I walked in that bad boy, heard water draining. I go in there. Now, the apartment complex I lived at, from like every once in a blue moon, the water, you know, turns off. They'll send us an email, hey, the water gonna turn off. So that morning when I left, the water was off. And I accidentally left the nozzle up. So whenever they turn the water back on, my nozzle just been the nozzle just been flooding with water. No, the nozzle just, you know, water just coming out the nozzle. So I went in, I turned off the nozzle. Now, that wasn't the issue. That was the issue. It was another issue. Right above my toilet, I see water draining from the ceiling. I'm like, what? Hold up. What this coming from? Just a bunch of water just draining from the ceiling, just pouring down. I'm like, come on, nah. So I went in the kitchen. I got water draining from the kitchen, like where my microwave was at. In my kitchen, I got like a one-shot kitchen. And like towards the end of the kitchen, water just pouring down from the ceiling. I'm like, what? What's going on? So I'm like, where's all this water coming from? So I'm like, I get some duct tape. I try to put it on there, but you know, that's not working. The water, you know, stopping the duct tape from sticking. So after a couple minutes later, my next door neighbor knocked on my door. She told me, hey, if you got water leaking, it's coming from my apartment. So my bad. I'm like, what? So I went up there. I found out the girl that's upstairs from me. She told me in her kitchen, her nozzle broke off and water just started pouring just start spraying everywhere. Start spraying. She told me she clogged up the sinks. She clogged up the sinks. So her sinks are filled up with water. Her drain is filled. Her drain busted up, so water just spraying everywhere like a water fountain, just everywhere, just spraying everywhere. Her whole kitchen watered up. So after a minute, I'm like, come on. So she called maintenance. And let me tell you something. In my apartment, the office opens from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. They have so I called their emergency number. I kept calling. I left voicemails. Nobody calling. Now let's speed it up. After a minute, the water's getting worse. Water is just coming down the ceiling, just leaking like somebody just peeing in my bathroom. Then in my kitchen, water just spraying, just coming down. So bruh, I'm like, so I'm calling, nobody picking up. I went up to the girl, her nozzle still spraying up water, just spraying up water. I'm like, come on, like, I'm finna have a flood in my apartment now. Here's where it gets worse. Since she clogged up her sinks, water's not just coming through the ceiling. It's oozing out the walls. So hold on, why my walls oozing out with water? My walls pouring out water. Then my ceiling fan, water coming from my ceiling fan. So dang. Then water, a couple drips of water coming from my ceiling in my living room. So I got water in my living room, coming from my living room, bathroom, in the kitchen. And water just coming down. After a minute, it started getting worse. So I got me a bucket. I put a bucket in my living room so the water can catch it. So it can catch it. But I'm like, bro, what's going on? I'm calling. No pickup. So and then it's getting hot. It's a lot of hot water that's pouring down in my apartment. And then my thermostat is acting a little funny. So I got hot water. So I'm just hot. So I'm like, man, what am I finna do? So I said, you know what? I'm annoyed. Right now I'm already annoyed because my water is finna turn to the Titanic. My apartment finna turn to the Titanic. So you know what? I went to sleep. I fell asleep. Went to sleep for a couple hours. I woke up. I still hear dripping. A lot of dripping. For a second I thought it stopped, but now it's still dripping. So at this point my carpet soaking wet, kitchen flooding, living room dripping, and I got pictures of all this. So the next day, I wake up. I told them, hey, my apartment, my ceiling, been dripping with water. My stuff messed up. Like even my light bulb in my kitchen broke off. The light still worked, but it's ripped off. So I'm telling them, hey, my stuff pouring down. Now my rent was coming up. This was like July the 28th. I got paid rent between August the 1st and August the 3rd. So I talked to him like, hey, do I still got? I was kind of, what can I say? I was trying to ask without asking. Like I'm like, hey, do I still gotta? And one of the assistant managers like, do you still have to pay rent? Like, yeah, you still gotta pay rent. But I'm like, my apartment flooded out. Water everywhere. Like water everywhere. Like why I still gotta pay?